Hello and welcome to another Blender Vision tutorial where you get a no-nonsense direct step-by-step to getting your tasks done. I'm Richard, you're you. Today we're going to have a look at fonts and doing titles and words. Hehe. Okay, so I thought I'd show you this as an example. So this is the end title sequence for Blender Vision. So if you notice here, I'm using a font and the colors are different on the front to the sides. Usually with fonts you can only have them as one whole color or none at all. So the way I did this is pretty simple. You do your whatever word, whatever text you want to put there. You then press Control C and you hit Mesh from Curve, Meta, Surface or Text. So basically you're going to convert your text, in this case, to a mesh. So when you click that, I've already done it with this so I won't click it, you end up, if you go into edit mode, you can see then that it is actually a mesh rather than text. So of course you cannot edit the lettering after, or the font after doing this. This is now a solid mesh. So make sure you're happy with the word. You'll notice your font option is missing over here because it is now treated as an object, and that's exactly what it is with vertices and all. So to get the things different color, obviously you can probably work it out. You go to wireframe view and you can go to the side in orthographic mode, and of course you can select by pressing Control Tab. You can select your face selection tool, click B, and then a nice square down the middle. This selects all the side vertices and none of the front vertices. It's hard to see. See if I can slip that off. No, I can't really see very clearly here, but none of the front is selected. So now I'm free to add a material, which I have. In this case I added white. And then I can press Control once I've done that, and make sure you assign, of course. Once you've cut your material you have to assign it, and then you press Control I and it'll switch the selection to all the vertices or faces in this case that weren't selected previously. So now I've got all the front ones only selected, so I can now select red and assign that material to those faces. So there you have it. A double-faced or double material text going on there. So I've done the same with the bottom, except the colors are reversed at the bottom of Vision. What I always do is keep a file. I download texts, fonts, sorry, online. 1001 fonts is a good one. I think it's a .com, that is. And I keep a folder on my RAID backup drive, so it'll always be there. Of all fonts that are free to use commercially, and they always stay in the same folder, so that way I always know and I never have to keep reading through license agreements, which you always should do, to make sure I can use them in projects. This way, if it's a font that's only for personal use and not for commercial, then I just don't download it at all. I don't see the point. You're better off just getting the ones that are free to use for everything. And another point as well, even the ones that you have to pay for, a lot of them, if you read the small print in the license agreements, a lot of them, although will let you use them commercially, will not yet let you use them. I can't spit my words out fast enough. Will not let you use them in a logo, which is obviously a big problem. You have to get another license for that. So these ones are all for use in logos, and you can see in the license here 1001 fonts 1001 fonts. Make it quite clear, and it says in here, where is it? At the top, you can. Why can I not see it? Right, here we go. Free of charge for personal and commercial use, and then it defines what personal use is, scrapbooking and whatever, and it defines what commercial use is, and in it says logos. So you are free to use this for logos and advertising, design, whatever you want. So that's what I do. I make I make a point of downloading only fonts that have that permission in it. You'd be surprised how many don't. So this way I've got a collection here that I can just use whatever without having to worry about the license, because I've already pre-checked it and I've written in capital letters free commercial, so I know definite that they are that thing. Okay, anyway, that aside, that's just a good idea for you. That aside, so I link my Blender programs to that file. So if I was to bring in text here, okay, and then I went to click on my browse for a thing, it automatically takes me to this file on my Z drive, which is my RAID drive. To set this up, you just have to go into user preferences, go to system. No, don't go to system, go to file, and then you've got all your presets here. You can I've preset it to go to that folder right here for fonts, and you can do the same for textures and whatnot, which I've also done. And you can set up all your files there, so you don't have to keep browsing to particular files every time you want to add something. You can set it up here, and it's automatically it'll take you to that folder. But obviously, it needs to be a folder that's not going to move, which is why I've set it to my RAID drive, which is a backup, so it just takes it all from there, because it'll never move. It'll always be there on the Z drive. So anyway, moving on. The other one I'll show you is the Field of Vision logo. This one, as you can see, has a slight back into it. The back is larger than the front, and you might think if you're a new user of Blender that you'd have to do this by hand, but you actually don't. I've done the same process. I've converted it into a mesh, but what I've done here is I've solidified it. So it's all you got to do for that. Let's do the OV, since the OV hasn't got it applied. So all you do is you get your text. Once you've converted it, you can do it with, if it is a text object still, which actually this is. So I can show you with the text object as well. You want to click on your modifiers. You want to add modifier, and you want to go to solidify. And you can see something's happening there. You want to click the offset, drag that all the way up to 1, and you can see it's already done it. It's quite bright white, so it's hard to see, but you can see there it's got its, and you can change the thickness there. It's got his, there you go. Gets a bit crazy if you keep on going up, but you get it to how you like it. And then you'd have to convert it to a mesh in order to change the colors, like I have here. I've got a darker grey on the back and a white at the front. Or you can just convert it to a mesh first and then do this same process. It's exactly the same, and that's how you do that. So that's a little tip for you if you want to do that kind of text. It always looks nice and effective, and kind of makes the writing seem a bit more bolder and in your face. So I like to use it. I use it quite a lot, actually. Okay, so really quick, some other things you might want to do with your text. So I'll use this because it is still a text object. Go to your fonts. You can change the resolution down here, as it looks terrible like that. So I usually leave it as 12. That's the default. I'm not sure what this fast editing means. Don't fill polygons while editing. I think that's when you go into edit mode to use the text there. You got some offsets you can change. I use this now and again. It won't work very well with this particular font, especially when it's solidified. And the extrude, obviously, the extrude makes it thicker. Gives it more depth. So that's a nice effect for. You see that kind of writing in, I think, the old Superman films and maybe Star Wars, I'm not sure. You can play around with that. We got the bevel depth, which is kind of similar to, I think that's actually what I've used on this text, because as you can see it was a long time since I did this, so I think it was back in 2012 I did this, so you can see on the back, yeah, it's definitely got beveling going on, so I must have used the bevel on that. There. If you scroll down, you've got your fonts, and you've got a size you can use for the size, but I just tend to use the old S for scale there. Position, I'm not sure, it's underline, thickness and all that. I suppose you have to have that. No, I'm not sure. I've never used a lot of this myself, to be honest. Got the alignment down there, which you're used to from any other text editing programs. Now the letter is the letter spacing. As you can see, it's under the spacing tab there, or heading. So you do that and it'll change the spacing between the letters. Not very effective with a two-letter word, but you know. The words, or if you had more than one word in there. So if I had something else there, it would space the words out. And lines obviously is up and down. If you had a multi-line text there. Offset, you can offset it from the origin. And we also got, I think I missed it, there's a shear option here somewhere. Texture space? No. There is a shear. I think I've missed it. I cannot find it. Oh, there it is. You can shear it like that, so you can make it into like a slanty text if you really wanted to do that. So anyway, so there's some basic starting manipulators for text. So I'll leave it there because this video is getting quite long. So I will see you again. Anything you want to know specifically about text, leave it in the comments and I will address it in another video or a quick tip video. But that should be enough to get you started and inspired and playing around with it, so you see what you can come up with yourself. So there we go, see you again. Ciao, bye.